Just a moment, a story about a shy girl in love. It always seemed to happen like this. The shy girl in love hadn't planned on staying after school that day, but somehow she and the prince on a white horse ended up walking out together again. Just the two of them. The others had left, and now the late summer sun spilled golden light across the empty backyard of the school. Quiet, warm, a little unreal. The shy girl in love had loved him for what felt like forever. Years, really. They had known each other since middle school, but she doubted he had ever truly seen her. Not that way. Not as a girl who wanted to be kissed under a glowing sky. More like a little sister. That's how he always treated her. Protective. Casual. Like she was harmless. Safe. It hurt, but it also gave her a strange comfort. She wasn't ready to be bold. She wasn't brave like the girls he usually smiled at in the hallways. But lately, something inside her had been shifting. She wore her hair a little differently. She tried colors she never would have dared to wear before. People started noticing. Even he had once paused for half a second too long before saying hello. That half second stayed with her all week. That afternoon, as they sat on a warm bench watching silly videos on his phone, the shy girl in love kept stealing glances at the prince on a white horse. Noticed how the light played across his cheek. How his laughter sounded deeper than she remembered. How her hand was so close to his on the bench. Close enough to reach for, maybe. Her heart beat faster at the thought. Later, when they finally stood up, she offered a detour. "Want to go by the lake before we head home?" she asked, trying to sound casual. He agreed. Of course. He always agreed. Maybe he didn't want to go home yet either. The small lake behind the school was quiet, wrapped in reeds and the soft hum of dragonflies. They walked along the edge until they found a small patch of grass to sit on. It felt private, like the world had faded away. The shy girl in love plucked at the grass, fingers trembling slightly. Her mind raced. This was the moment. This was the kind of place where it could happen, if it ever would. But how do you make someone kiss you without saying a word? She didn't want to confess. That felt too big, too risky. She didn't want to break whatever soft, safe thing they already had. So she waited. And then out of nowhere, a dry leaf drifted from a tree and landed on the prince on a white horse's shoulder. She laughed softly and brushed it off. Her fingers lingered just a second longer than they needed to. Just enough to say something without speaking. He looked at her, really looked. And then she asked, in a voice barely above a whisper, "You've always seen me as just a kid, haven't you?" She wasn't even sure she wanted him to answer. The silence felt louder than any words. He didn't speak right away. He just looked down, then back at her, like he was seeing her for the first time. Finally, he said, "I used to, but not anymore." Her heart nearly stopped. She didn't move, didn't dare breathe. And he shifted closer. The prince on a white horse didn't rush. He looked into her eyes like he was asking permission, like he was waiting for her to run. But the shy girl in love just looked back. No words, just hope. A small nod, almost invisible. And then his lips touched hers. Soft, gentle, but real. The kind of kiss that changed everything, without needing to explain anything. When they pulled apart, neither of them spoke. They didn't need to. The shy girl in love smiled shyly, and the prince on a white horse smiled back. Something had shifted between them, quietly, without force. And she realized, you don't always have to shout to be heard. Sometimes all you need is to let yourself be seen, even by the one who always thought of you as just a little sister. Not anymore.